No nigga, baby, let's face it. I've been really feel like this in a minute. Yeah, that demons in my soul got my image. You ain't gotta trust me, baby, just listen. I know you try.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back, Stay Woke Podcast. Thank you for tapping in, episode 9. Today I got my boy Dom Collier with me. What's going on, Dom?
Yeah, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for taking the time to come on here. It means the world to me.
Oh yeah, of course.
How you doing, man? What's life looking like for you right now? What's your wave? What's going on?
So right now, just back in Colorado, just working out and stuff, and working with kids and helping this program, and just trying to just be a part of just help Colorado basketball in my part. So right now, I'm just staying low and just working right now.
Definitely, that's dope, man. Were you just previously playing pro, or what were you doing with that?
So I was in Germany my first year out of college, and then so I came back from Germany, and then started working up in CU Boulder for a little bit, and also along with training some kids, and then I started to work out again and get back in shape and try to start going to camps and all that stuff in Houston and everything, and trying to get back overseas or just playing somewhere sooner than later.
Definitely, I feel you, man. So let's just get straight into this interview, man. So for the viewers who don't know you, born and raised in Denver, what was life like growing up for you, man? Being a Denver native, have a buzz already with your family. So what was life like for you growing up?
Oh, it was a lot of fun growing up. I was the only child. I mean, not the only, with the only child that lived with my parents. I have two older brothers and one older sister, but they were all older when I was young. So yeah, growing up, it was fun. So I hung out with all my friends, neighborhood friends, and then started off playing with junior basketball, and that's when I met one of my teammates that I ended up playing high school with, JJ. We played on that team for a little while, and then moved on to the Ballers. So and then after that, played with the minors. So I played for a couple of teams around Colorado, and then when middle school kind of hit, I went to a camp in Virginia, and one of the coaches who was he coached the Ray Allen select team out of Milwaukee. He was he was my camp coach. So like we were just messing so I played well under him and all that. And after the camp, we were just joking around saying like he wanted me to come out there and play with them. So I was like, why not? So we ended up making it happen. And then for a summer, I went out there and just played. And then that's where I really seen the exposure. I mean, where I really seen it's just every day out there. It's just every single day, just a grind out in like Chicago, Ohio, out in just that Midwest area. It's just a grind. So just seeing that culture out there made me want to keep working on my game and all that. So came back to Denver and started my high school career at East, and had a pretty successful career at East. Ended up winning Player of the Year 2 years in a row, and won a state championship, or made it to the state my junior and senior year. Ended up only winning it once, and all Colorado all 4 years. So had a pretty good high school career and pretty fun. That's pretty much like the sum of my childhood, just growing up. Oh, and I played for a team out in Kansas City too. That's where I played with one of my teammates that I ended up going to college with, Tori Miller. So, yeah, that's pretty much the sum of my high school life growing up. Pretty much just in the gym, hanging out with my friends, and that's really it.
That's dope, man. So did you ever play any other sports besides basketball, or was it strictly hoop? Like, did you football, track, anything like that?
No, it was strictly basketball. I used to go to my friends' practices and shit with or stuff with the football, and I don't know, I just didn't have an interest in playing it. Like I love watching it and love just being around it, but I didn't ever have an interest in playing. And my mom wanted me to run track, which I should have listened to her with that, but I ended up just sticking with basketball.
Definitely, that's cool. So like, who would you say you were like looking up to growing up? Like, did you have like not necessarily like a NBA star, but was it like a an older cousin, an uncle? Like, who were you looking up to when you were growing up?
Oh, for sure, my older brothers, my pops, and my cousin. He went to Denver East too, so I went to a lot of their games, and that's where I really just love just watching basketball because that's when they're really good. From 2003 and four, that's what the team my cousin was on, and then so forth. So just watching them year in and year out, I was just like, man, I want to be in this gym one day, and I want to play in there and here one day. So.
Definitely, that's cool, man. So, were you you said you were an only child, or like the only, you were basically all your siblings were older than you. You're the only kid in your house. Um, what was that like? Like, like I know, like you said, you hanging out with your friends, but was that ever like a mental issue for you, not having like siblings in the house that you can like just play with in the house, not having to go outside? Was that ever like a take a mental factor on you at all?
No, I mean not really. Because I'm a person that just likes the space. And then I developed that with being like kind of the only child, just only person, the only kid in the house. But I also had just my like when I like they were like my brothers, my friends that I hung out with in the neighborhood. Like we hung out every single day. So it was like so it wasn't like I was missing a beat with having like a sibling. Maybe just in the household, but in terms of like just playing around and all that stuff. Yeah, so I got that all with them.
Definitely, that's cool. So you mentioned a few teams that you played with. What was the most recent team you were playing with before you entered high school?
Before I entered high school, it was with the um, Kansas City Run GMC. So they're out of Kansas, and then I played with them in the summers or in high school too. So they were Under Armour Circuit, so we got like familiar with like the Under Armour stuff and everything, and then like they wanted to mess with our high school. They wanted to sponsor our high school team, so they hooked us up with my junior and senior year, really my senior year with the Under Armour deal, and we ended up they ended up inviting us to tournaments and all that. We got gear from them, so that was a cool experience too.
Definitely. So let's dig a little bit deeper into that. What was it like playing on the Under Armour circuit? You mentioned getting the gear and stuff, but what was it like just playing against the top kids? Like back then, I feel like the talent was top of the, probably like the best talent we're gonna see for a couple of generations, just because the group of players that were in your class in the a couple years after you. So what was it like just going to these nationally ranked tournaments, playing against the soon to be, or probably a lot of those guys are already in the NBA. So what was it like just lining up against those guys daily, knowing you got to bring your A game else you're gonna get cooked?
Oh, it was it was intense and it was fun. It made it that, but that made it fun. It made the summers fun because like every weekend, every game, like you had to bring your stuff or else like you're gonna get exposed. So just knowing that, um, and also just being a kid from Colorado, we don't get a lot of respect. So just having that chip on our shoulder too. So yeah, you just have to bring your game for those tournaments because, like you said, if you don't, then you're gonna get exposed, and like as a high school kid, and like you don't want that because like for some people, it just depends. For some people, it makes them better. For some people, it does the opposite. But when you look forward to those matchups, and also like you're still trying to get evaluated by colleges too. So it's a lot to look into.
Definitely. So choosing your high school, was it strictly East, or did you have any other high schools in mind? I know you're playing with Run GMC. Were they trying to get any of your teammates trying to get you to go to school out there? What was that like?
Uh, no, not in Kansas, but so my ninth grade or going into my ninth grade year, I went up to the USA basketball down in the Springs, and one of the coaches out in Chicago at Whitney Young, he wanted me to come out there and live out there and start school out there. So me and my family were considering that, and just ultimately I just ended up just staying back in Denver or at East. But when David Carey was at Montbello, I was honestly considering going up there to Montbello, and because it's not far from where I grew up at. I grew up in the Green Valley, so that would have been right up the street. But when he went out or when he wasn't at Montbello anymore, it was just an easy decision just to pick East.
Definitely. That's dope. So going in the East, you went in there with JJ, like you mentioned, Ronnie, Tyree was there, and then you guys had Brian come in your sophomore year. But what was it like just walking into East, knowing you got three dudes, you guys are all on the same mission? What was like your mindset going into East your freshman year?
Um, it, yeah, I don't. I'm a shy person, so I don't like to open up. So it would just like be or just going into high school. I was happy, I was nervous, I had all the emotions going into high school, and what made me most comfortable was when we had basketball tryouts or practice or open gyms, and then that made me just be more comfortable with being just in high school and just in high school. So just being around those guys too, it was tough first year. Because we're just still learning or adjusting to just being in high school, not even about the basketball part, but the school part, just interacting with everybody, and then the basketball part too, just adjusting to we're not playing against eighth graders no more. We're playing against seniors in high school. They're getting ready to go to college. So seeing the difference between us and the seniors, like wow, like we gotta improve our stuff, and unless we or if we want to make some noise out here. So that was the main thing.
Definitely. So what was it like playing for Rudy and Dave? I know you guys kind of have like a little family root there, but what was it like playing for Rudy, man? Because I know a lot of people want to know that, and there's only a select few that can really explain what it's really like playing for Rudy. So I feel like you guys had a really good connection and stuff. So what was it genuinely like playing for him?
Oh, I loved it. He pushed us. He knew we were talented, but he still got in our tail and everything, and wanted the best out of us. And he gets under your skin on purpose, like because that's what's needed. Because it doesn't get any easier after you leave high school. It just gets harder, and he really cares about just kids making progression. And of course he's a winner. He has so many wins and so many state championships, but at the end of the day, he cares about like where his people are. So yeah, I love playing for Rudy, and he's a player's coach, so he lets you go out there and hoop, like go out there and hoop, and just play your game and stuff. So yeah, he's gonna get in your tail like every coach will, and every coach who cares about the end goal. But yeah, I loved it though.
Definitely. So those of you that weren't in Colorado at the time. Dom was the high school phenom here in Colorado. So with that being said, Dom, what was it like just having the buzz around you? Not even argumentally, you were the best player in the state at the time for those 4 years. So what was it like just having all the attention on you all the time?
Um, it wasn't something that I like. So I mean, and like bragged about or none of that. It just I would just be who I was every day, and like of course I love to be around people and all that, but it's I don't know. I just wanted to just be myself more than anything, and just be around people who actually cared. So that was the main. But from my standpoint, I kind of relied on my talent too much. So like I just stopped working and like always pushed something to tomorrow. So that's something where I could have done a whole lot better job of, but just stick on it, stay with it. And I think that's what those out of state tournaments did for me. It brought me back to reality. Like, damn, like I got to pick my stuff up because I'm going against these guys. Um, so yeah.
That's nice, man. I've always wondered what it was like for an individual to just like handle that type of clout, like we said, you were buzzing. Your name's all over social media is barely buzzing at that time, but you were well known. So just to hear that you didn't really feed into the bullshit is just like it's like humbling for me, like you're the best player in the state and you don't care about it. You just want to be better and be yourself. So that's definitely nice to hear.
Yeah. And
So go ahead.
and so but like that like I was, but also I was seeing that stuff too. And like I wouldn't say I wouldn't go work out like every day like as I should, you know what I'm saying? Because I seen that stuff, and then like I relied on it like too much, or to it became like a fault to me, you know what I'm saying? So uh to any like high school kids or whatever, man, just stick with it. Just keep sticking with it. Keep working every single day. Like, because like this stuff is a job, man. And I know y'all watching the March Madness right now, and all the pros, like they they like this is their livelihood, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta treat it like that. You gotta treat it as such. Like if you wanna make it far in this shit, man, you really gotta put your all into this, because like, man, I've been going to these camps out in Houston and just seeing the guys out there, like they're really grinding for this stuff. There's guys older than me out there at these camps, still trying to get at it. So like, it's never like it doesn't stop for people. So it doesn't stop. That's why so if you take a break, um, that like that's on you at the end of the day. But just know it's gonna come back to bite.
Definitely. That's dope. So what was your recruitment like? You mentioned you're running with KC Run GMC. What were like your top 5 schools your junior year? That's when I would say you just hit your peak. You just won player of the year. You guys made it to state. So what was your recruitment like? Who were your top schools?
Uh, Top schools obviously CU. Iowa was in there, and those are the first two ever schools to ever recruit me. I remember it was a gym. I want to say out in Chicago, but it was Coach Boyle from CU, and coach assistant coach from Iowa. They were the only coaches at the gym, so that's where it all started. It was 8th grade, so that was pretty cool. And then in the process, like I talked to North Carolina, uh, Kansas State. But really, like what it came down to was probably Kansas State, CU, and Iowa.
Definitely. That's dope. Did you have like any other like little tugs from other like top any like big blue schools or
Yeah, I mean Arizona and like Arizona State and all of them, but yeah, Arizona, like they like like they were over recruit and everything. I just wanted to be able to grow with the coach and be able to grow with the team and all that stuff. So and like when I went out on the visit with the CU, I just felt at home. I was obviously not far from home, but felt at home with the guys and just had that connection. I already knew most of the guys on the team, but when I went up there and hung out with them, just felt right at home.
definitely. So your senior year, that's like your last year of high school. You win player of the year again, Mr. Colorado, Gatorade player of the year, and you're state champion. Did you reach all your goals your senior year, you would say? Was that like a moment where you're just like, damn, I really just did everything that I wanted to do?
Yeah, yeah. I wish we'd have won more championships, but but I mean, it is what it is. We won one, so we could at least I have that to brag about.
Definitely. How is it winning Mr. Colorado, Gatorade Player of the Year, um, and then back to back Player of the Year? You're all state. You're basically hitting every record that there is to hit of being the best player. So what was that feeling for you?
I mean, it was a good feeling. I mean, yeah, it was a really good feeling. But like that all came from like the help of my teammates and my coaches and everything, and just building that confidence in me, and just keep building that confidence in me that I could go out there and score and all that stuff and facilitate for the team. So just to help my teammates really, and just having my back through every situation, especially on the floor. Whether it's in Colorado or especially out of town. When we were out of town, that's when we really have to fight because no one's not gonna. We in Florida and no one's gonna respect the team from Colorado. So we really got to unite together and everything because you know how it goes. You got to be as one, especially coming from Colorado because you're not ever gonna get that respect.
Definitely. How was it playing just on the going to like the national tournaments, just playing on your high school team, not even in your AU, just being with the guys that you grew up with and going out of state, traveling with them? What was that like?
That was super fun. Yeah, that was super fun, especially like obviously the basketball was super dope and super fun experience, but the bus ride to the airport and then the airport rides and all that stuff and then the hotel like being in the hotel with the guys because like you said, like I've been with these guys my whole life, so just being around them just just in a different state, it was fun. We had a whole lot of fun, and then obviously on the court we did what we had to do, except for one time in Florida we played this team from there was New Jersey or Philly or something, and they beat the brakes off of us. But after that game, like I feel like it opened like to because I mean it just opened it up to be like, yeah, we got to take this for real serious. But man, they beat the brakes off of us.
That's crazy. What do you think? Like that was probably the best team you've ever played in your high school career? Was that team that beat y'all?
Probably Lone Peak my sophomore year. They were loaded. They were number one in the country. They were loaded. And then they
That's
popped us too.
who was at Lone Peak when you guys were there?
So it was like Nick Emery, Tyler Haas, Eric Mika, and uh, I can't remember. I think that's the main four though. But
Yikes.
they kind of like us at East, but they played AAU together, so that was their full AAU squad.
Oh,
So
so
they
it was just
played
like AAU, high school, just boom. They would just
literally
go
year
from one
round,
to another. Yeah, that's damn.
literally year round for 4 years. So
Did you ever run
yeah,
into
that
them
that
on the AAU circuit?
yeah, we did, we
Oh,
did.
you
Yeah,
did
one
play
time
them? Oh, that's
we did.
crazy.
Yeah, we did. But I was with the Kansas City team, but we did play them.
Did you beat them?
Yeah, we did. We got them.
That's
Yeah.
dope, man. So, well, who do you think? What was like on the Under Armour circuit? Well, who was like the top players you were playing against?
Who is in that certain? It's like Moody and Emmanuel Moutier.
Shit. Oh, him and
Uh,
Malik Hud, they were on that team together.
yeah.
All right. So overall, what was like what was your main goal for your senior year? Given you got all these titles, you're playing the best players in the world. What was your ultimate goal of your senior year?
For high school, it was just to win the championship, but also just improve just as a basketball player as much as I can, because I knew that next year I was going to be in college, so just get as much better as I can.
Definitely. So, did you already sign to CU before the season started, or did you sign after?
Yeah, so I had signed my junior year.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
what made you sign so early? Why'd you pick CU? What were your top three schools that you had in mind?
Top three, it was CU, Iowa, and uh, Kansas State. And
So,
huh?
go ahead. Go finish.
Yeah, so that was the three, and I chose CU just because. But at the time, Rodney was up there, and me and him had a good relationship. Um, when he was recruiting me, so I felt more the most comfortable with him, and just going up there, just being on that visit with the guys, just felt at home. So yeah.
Definitely. Did you ever visit Iowa or Kansas State?
That's what I regret. I didn't take any other visits.
How come? You just were
I
set on you?
I don't even know. I don't have no real reason. I just didn't.
Right.
But looking back, them is free trips. And I was talking to a guy yesterday about it. Those are just free trips, and there's just times that you could just go have fun, and just I don't know. I don't know why, but I just didn't do it.
Definitely. So you get to see you freshman year, just graduated, just becoming basically breaking of a lot of records over at East. You win state, you're at CU, and you're back at the bottom of the list now. So where was your mentality going into college?
It wasn't where it should have been, but it was. But I had to grow up and just be ready to go out there and compete. So that's what I try to do every day in practice. Just go out there, compete. And I don't think I was ready from a basketball standpoint. I wasn't strong enough for, and and not being physically ready, that messed with my mental. So, but like I had a pretty okay freshman year. I got I didn't I ended up starting I think halfway through the season, and then ended up playing well actually towards the end of the year. We went to the CBI tournament, and that's where or the last game of the Pac-12, and we played Oregon in the CBI tournament. Those were one of my better games of the year. So that was towards the back end of the career or of that year, my freshman year. So, and then just being with that squad, I learned a lot from multiple of the guys, or a lot of the guys who are on the team, and I still stay in touch with a lot of those guys too. So that's one thing at CU where I take the most out of is just those relationships that I built and the friendships that I built over time and all that, and I'll take that to with the rest of for the rest of my life.
Definitely. What was like the biggest lesson you learned your first year in college?
The biggest lesson was it's just cutthroat. Like it's super cutthroat. It's next man up mentality, and that's what it is. So you always got to be on your stuff because I mean everybody wants to play, so there's only 5 people that could be on the court at a time. So that was just learning that every possession matters. Kind of didn't have that at East because it wasn't like to that caliber. So just realizing every possession matters and every day matters, and just everything mattered at a higher standpoint.
Definitely. Going into your sophomore year, averaged 8 points per game, 3 assists, made 252 threes in the season, which is a single season school record. You had a bigger role your sophomore year. Obviously shooting the ball way more efficient. So what was your sophomore year like for you? How are you taking that on, given that you were scoring more, just getting more opportunities to do more and showcase your talent?
Yeah. Well that year, we had 2 really good bigs, Josh Scott and Wesley Gordon, and also Torrey Miller. And then we had a lot of good wings too. So, and then I was at the point guard position. So really I was just trying to get these guys involved as much as I can and just score in opportunities to where like just make the defense pay. So if you help off me, I'm gonna knock down the shot, or I'm gonna cut to the basket, or just try to lead that team as best as I could.
Right.
So yeah.
That's dope. What was it like playing with Josh Scott? A lot of Colorado guys know him. He's a local, but he was probably arguably one of the best bigs in the Pac-12 still to date. What was it like playing with him? Just his high IQ and his motor. He's a phenomenal player. I'm surprised he's not in the league, but what was it like just going to practice with him every day and just playing with somebody of that caliber?
Oh, it was great. It was great. And then he won us a lot of games. He was just dominant down there, and then he did his thing. But he was a good big brother, good leader for us too. And he was super funny. Like he just did crazy stuff that just was funny. But Josh is really he was dominant down there, and then he was one of the best bigs to ever to come out of CU and was in the Pac-12. So yeah, it was great to just learn from that guy, and then just seeing like the intensity and there's the intensity that he had every day in practice. He just brought it every day. Like even when his back was hurt, like he tried to fight it as much as possible. But I mean, he fought, and then he was a fighter, and that's what we loved about him. And then we always knew that going to war with him, like we were always going to come out swinging because like he was just that type of person, that type of player.
Exactly. That's dope. So what would you say is like your favorite your favorite memory of your sophomore year? What do you remember most of your sophomore year of college?
My sophomore year of college. We beat Arizona. We had beat Arizona at home, and that's when they were loaded. I mean, they've always been loaded, but that's when they were really loaded. And they were like, I don't know, top 10 in the country at the time. But that was just huge for us because we needed that win at the time too, to improve our end of the year, what we wanted to do at the end of the year, which was make it to the tournament. So that was a big, I think that win, and then the time that we played Oregon. So those were the two biggest ones or biggest moments for me, because it was just a super dope and fun experience. I know it sucks right now that there's no fans in the March or in college basketball now. So it sucks that a lot of the guys don't get to experience it for the last year or for the first year too. But or for just through the whole process. But just having the fans there and then this atmosphere like that was really it was really cool to see that. And then just to get that win, just to feel the energy in the building, that was just super dope.
That's nice. So you're playing in the Pac-12, one of the best conferences in college basketball. What was it just like knowing that some of the guys you're playing are about to go to the NBA, which is the step that everybody's trying to get to? So what was it like just going up against NBA caliber guys day in and day out, given the fact that you yourself and some of your teammates are NBA caliber yourself? So what was it what was it mentally like? Was it hard? Was it easy for you? How are you managing that?
I mean, you if you for sure had to get up for those games, or else you was gonna get blown out or embarrassed. So it wasn't hard for us to get up for those type of games, but it was also just cool just to compete against those guys and then just see where some of them are at now. But it was always it was a battle, but there were some performances where I was like, damn, like you going like so like you earn a different respect from just seeing it like personally and playing against it. You earn a whole new different respect as opposed to just watching.
Definitely. Going into your junior year, averaging 6 and 2, that's when you hurt your foot. Mentally, where were you at? I know you missed a handful of games, so how are you just taking that?
It was tough because the first game of the year I actually played that. I actually played the first two games of the year, and I played well the first game, and then the second game, that's when it really started to aggravate. Or in that day after practice, so I tried to play in that the next game, and then it was just I couldn't move at all. So that was a tough time, and I feel like I started out. I was on a good start, but then hurt my foot. Like you said, it just brought me down mentally a little bit. But just staying with the guys, and that's when the first year we had Derek. So just supporting them, and the main thing I miss that I miss about that whole year was we went to New York to play in the Barclays Center for that year, and I had to miss that tournament because of my foot. So, I mean, mentally it was tough, but I was just I was just trying to be there in spirit as much as I can because, like it was just tough.
Definitely. So that year you guys had Derek. What was it like having him and Josh on the team? Derek's in the NBA right now, so what was it like just having him, just going to war with him every day, knowing that he's going to the league next year or in 2 years?
Yeah, well, shoot, his what is it? He had to when he transferred over his redshirt year, the year that he sat out. He was on scout team just frying people. I was like, God damn, like really just baking people. So I was like, so that's when I really seen. I was like, God damn, he's nice as fuck. And then obviously, so that year they set out, he got better and better and stronger and all that, and he was already elite. But then that next year when he was able to play, it was just it was just cool to see, especially when I was sitting out, because I was really watching. I was like, he's like on another level. Like just couldn't do anything wrong, making the right play. And I learned from that. Just and then that's the thing about Derek was he never got sped up, and then he always made the right play. Like you rarely seen him make a bad play, or if he did, he'll hustle back. And like I seen him with so many chase down blocks that I knew people that didn't. We knew it from practice, but people are not gonna know that. So just seeing that, it was just super dope.
That's tight, man. So you come back from your foot injury, and it's kind of like you have like a little bit lesser of a role just because your durability, you're not really 100%. You're still fighting through it. So how are you managing to just fight through your foot and still perform at the Division I level?
Uh, I was so it was a tough time for me. Because that's where a time where I was just super up and down. Like wasn't consistent at all. Like some games I'll be really good, and some games like I wouldn't be there at all. So that was really frustrating for me at the time. Just not being consistent, and that was on me too. Like I wasn't there mentally because I wasn't playing well. But that goes back to what I was talking about earlier. I didn't stick with it. I just relied on my talent. Like I didn't just fight through and just say just fuck this. I didn't just fight through it. So but that was a tough time. And then we I thought that was one of the better teams that I played on at CU, and I thought that's like we should have made the tournament with that team, but we had some key losses down towards the end of the year that really hurt us, and ultimately didn't ended up making or playing UCF in the NIT tournament. And that was with Taco Fall. So just seeing that big dude, it was just crazy because he was like 7'6".
Yeah,
And and our big man West, he was like 6'11". So the jump ball looked crazy because he West looked like a midget, and like he never seen him like look that small compared to someone before.
that's crazy. Did y'all win that game?
No, we lost. I can't remember how much we lost by, but we lost.
Was Taco even nice though, or he's just big?
He's huge, but like you can't teach that. He's just in the way.
Right. That's crazy.
Getting boards, getting easy dunks, all that.
That's wild. So what would you say kept you going that your junior year, given that you're fighting that foot injury?
I just love to play basketball at the end of the day. Like, so I'm in school at the time, and school is school, you know. But so basketball was my just place where I was just most comfortable. So in practices I'll compete and stuff, and you have to compete. We had so many guards that year. So, I mean, if you wasn't performing, then you wasn't playing. Period. So,
Definitely.
Just knowing that if I'm not on my stuff, if I'm not doing nothing at all, if I'm not producing anything at all, then I'm not going to play. So, just knowing that.
Definitely. So we're going into your senior year. This is where the tables kind of turned on you. You started your first 7 games, and then they start bringing you off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going through? What was going through your mind right then and there? I know for me, I would be mad as fuck if they did that to me. So, what were you feeling? Like, how were you feeling? Were you upset? Were you okay with it because it was better for the team? What were you going through?
I was okay with it because I knew because I wasn't like I was playing like shit. So like I had nothing to argue. I had nothing to back myself up with. I wasn't playing well enough, and I feel like at the beginning of the season, I was just too anxious. I wanted to play so well that I was just forcing. Was it was just forcing really, and like that was a time too. I would start the game, but I would be out like uh before the media timeout for some games, and like right after the media timeout, just for fouls and stuff like that. So I shot myself in the foot just from fouling and stuff, and just not being disciplined. So yeah, when Coach Boyle brought me in the office and talked about that, yeah, it was tough at first. Yeah, everyone wants to start and all that. Yeah, for sure. But as I look like when as I reflected back to it after our meeting, I was just like, yeah, like everything he's saying is right. Um, and then I just took it. I just took it head on and just knew I just had to just play better. Like that was just the bottom line. I just had to play better. So came off the bench, uh, and just when I was on the bench, I was analyzing. I was just watching the game, seeing how the refs was calling the game, seeing how the flow of the game was going. So when I got in the game, it wasn't like it wasn't like we missed a beat. So that's what or if we were lacking stuff, I was trying to be that upbeat. So um yeah, I mean, everybody wants to start and all that, but I was finishing the game, and um so yeah, that experience, like I really embraced it. Like I really just took that role head on. We had a lot of a lot of good young guys who are making a run right now in the tournament. So they were balling. So you couldn't take nothing away from that. And just take that role, because if I couldn't, and I was being a senior, and then we had a lot of young guys. I just couldn't show that I've never been a selfish person, but like it would have been selfish of me to just pout and all that stuff, and because I wasn't just because I wasn't starting. So I just embraced the role, and then I really just bought into just coming off and being like that spark, whatever the team was trying to get, or whatever we was trying to get rolling with.
Definitely, I feel you, bro. So, what is it like now seeing those guys making it run for the tournament right now? I know T-Bay's not there with them, but Ken and Evan's there, Deshaun's there. What was that like?
Oh, it's dope. It's super dope. Especially, I know these guys are hungry, super like extra hungry. Especially after last week, felt like we let one slip away. So I know these guys are hungry. I know, like today, they were shooting lights out.
For real.
So and just to see that, it was just cool. It was just cool to see all of that, and like I talk to these guys often, so just to just to see them just making noise, and then seeing everyone talk about Colorado now, and Ken and McKinley now, because he's been greatly disrespected nationwide. So just to see, just to show the whole world that Colorado, like we got hoopers down in Boulder too, like so. It's just super dope to just see that, though. It's super, and because I was obviously going to war with them when they were freshmen,
Right.
so I already know how they fight. I already know like they don't take no that group especially, they don't take no bush, they don't take nothing. Like they gonna go out there and go out your neck. It's like, especially when they're getting counted out and all that stuff. So just to see that, it's just it's cool to see, and I'm proud of them for sure.
Definitely, that's dope. So going back to you, coming off the bench seemed to work out for you and for the better of your team. You happened to win Sixth Man of the Year of the Pac-12 that year. You were finishing the games like you said, but I just feel like you coming off the bench gave your team that spark that you guys were missing, and you and your team both benefit off of that. So what was it like winning that award in the Pac-12?
Oh, it was pretty cool. I didn't even know that that word had even existed. So I was just going out there and just hooping and everything. So just to win that, it was cool because the coaches on other teams vote for that. So it means that I got their respect to a level. So I mean, it was cool just to win that for my last year going out, and then yeah, and then like again, I gotta thank my teammates just for just boosting that confidence in me and just being there and then just being great teammates. I mean, um, you're not. I mean, you hardly ever win something like that when you have like negative energy and stuff around you like that. So just being positive and all, and then that whole year, it was that might have been one of the funnest years that I had. I bet CU in my senior year. Just from basketball and outside of basketball. Like I just loved hanging around them dudes and then just coming over to 307 and all that.
Definitely. That's so dope to hear, man. So what were your plans? Or actually, before we get into that, how far did you guys make it that year?
That year we didn't make it to a tournament. Oh no,
Oh, for real? Y'all didn't make the
my
tournament?
my senior year.
Yeah.
Nah. I only played. So my freshman year we was in the CBI. My sophomore year we made it to the NCAA tournament and lost to UConn. And then the junior year lost to who the UCF in like the second round, and then senior year, man.
That's crazy, bro. So how was your college experience? You would say we just wrapped up your college life. So what were did you set the goals that did you make the goals that you set? Did you reach them? Um, did you love college? How was it? What was your overall experience?
College was up and down for me. Uh, I didn't meet the goals that I set for myself going into college, but I learned a lot just from being in college though. Different experiences. I just learned so much just from being in college. So that's what I take the most from just my experience in college, just that learning aspect, and just trying to just better myself after all just my college experience.
Definitely, bro. So what were your goals? Did you graduate from CU?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
What did you graduate with?
So I had my major was um, sociology, and then I got a minor in ethnic studies.
Oh, okay. That's dope, bro. Congrats on that. Congrats on graduating.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, bro.
you just graduated. What were your plans for going pro? Were you thinking about going to the draft? Where's your head out with that?
So it was all over the place after the season had ended. Uh, and going into this, I actually had to finish one class to officially graduate. So I was in that class in July, or no, June, and then I had to be over in Germany like August 5th or August, like early August, like I think the 1st of August. So like that was a quick turnaround after, and then I was so checked out, man. I was so checked out mentally from school. Like, so I had one more class to finish in the summer in June, but I was so checked out mentally.
That's
So that class was like a lot, man. It was it was tough. It was super tough because I was just so out of it mentally, and I feel uh like everything like that class was stressing me out so much that I wasn't even working out like I should be, getting ready to go overseas. Like
right.
I wasn't.
Exactly.
Right. So
So, how many
Yeah.
games did you get to play overseas?
So we were out there like 2 months before we even had to play a game. So the first month I was out there, it was just strictly conditioning. Every day on the track, every day on the track from like I don't know, it was late, like not late, but the sun wasn't there, like 5 to 7. We 16 laps, 16 laps. But so doing that every day, it was weird. And then like the first couple of weeks, we didn't even touch the basketball. And then after that, we started to practice and all that and scrimmage and stuff. So, and then, so during the scrimmages, I'm playing well and the leading scorer on the team and all that. And then the last preseason game, I had broke my nose like super bad. So I had to get surgery on that. And then I ended up missing the first, I think, 3 games of the season. So the first game that I came back, uh, I played all right, but I was just so anxious to get back and was just pressing. So after that, the minutes and stuff start to go down and all that, and then after, like I was just so much in a funk because I had just broke my nose and I'm in another country and I like wasn't mentally ready just because like short turnaround. So uh I was just mentally checked out. So I talked to my agent about just coming back and then that's the mistake I kind of made. I came back and then didn't get right back into it. I came back because he was like, "Do you want to find anything else right now?" I'm like, "Man, nah, forget this, man, really," because I'm so mentally out of it. So I came back, and then that's when I started working with up at CU. So yeah, so I played 2 games over in Germany, and then after that, the minutes went down. Or I played 3 games, and then the minutes went, or 4 games, sorry, and then the minutes just went down after a couple games, and then over there it's 1 game a week. It's like football. It's a football schedule, so it's tough. It's I mean it was tough because for coming from college, you got 2 games a week, and then you're obviously coming home to your normal life. You know what I'm saying? Like you got your friends here, you got your family here, you got stuff that you just used to doing around the States, but going over there, you just got to be more adventurous. That's so if I get back over there, that's when I'm going to just be more adventurous and just go explore more and all that stuff and just soak up the whole experience because it's just not about basketball over there. Like it's a dope experience. You're in the whole nother country or in a whole nother environment. So you really gotta, and it's your life. Like you gotta soak it up. You know what I'm saying? So it's not all about balls, and that's what I was kind of in Germany. That's what it strictly was. Like I'll go to practice. We'll have 2 a day, so I have practice in the morning, come back to the room, and I was just in my room until practice in the afternoon. So that shit, like doing that week in and week out, like you like man, you get tired. You get mentally just tired of that shit.
Exactly. Hell yeah, bro. So, where if you had the choice, where would you go play? Like what country?
Uh, well, if I had the choice, it would be in one of those top, like Spain and one of those top countries for sure. But I know, like, I had a couple years off, or a year off, so I know that uh, I ain't gonna be able to just pick and choose where I'm gonna be able to go. So that's why I've been going to these camps so I can improve and improve all that. And I've been getting good feedback from talking to G League coach, some team, and then I got an agent down in or he's out of Dallas. So these camps have for sure helped, but without the camps, I probably wouldn't even be thinking about playing again.
Definitely, that's dope. What is like the most recent camp you've been to?
Uh, it was down in Houston. It was just like this little camp that this agency put together, but there was some scouts from overseas, and then from a couple of G League teams that didn't participate in the bubble. So
That's cool, man. So what is your plan now? Like you just said, you're looking to find a team. You're going to camps and stuff. So like, what else are you doing besides that? Are you training? Are you coaching? What is that like?
so I'm training kids. So I work with this T2 program out of Colorado. So I get a lot of kids from there, and then just my cousin's a head coach at North High School, so I get some kids from there, and then just word of mouth. So I got a couple people who I work with, and helped my good friend Jonathan Barnett. He has a son that's at Faith Middle School, so I was helping him help his the Faith Middle School team, and along with helping with the T2 basketball team.
Definitely.
Or the AAU team, yeah.
So what is T2 like? Is it just an AAU team? Are you guys training kids over there? What are you guys doing with that?
Yeah, so we just had tryouts this past week to get the spring and summer squads straight. So when we start traveling, we can have those squads ready to compete. And the T2 guy's name is Quentin Mosley. He just actually got to Colorado, and we've been setting up. We're trying to set up just a better culture, because he's from New York, so he could see like it's not. The basketball here is nowhere near out in New York. So he's trying to bring some of his ideas and all that. We're just trying to collab and trying to bring better, just the hoop culture down to Colorado. And a lot of that just comes with pickup. Like, I see a lot of guys just working on training and stuff. But if you can't translate that to the game, then there's no point in doing all that. So we're just trying to just bring it all full circle, because a lot of guys are getting that work in, which is good. I'm not saying like that's ever a bad thing. Hell no. But if you just doing drills and drills and drills, but you don't have the feel for the game, then the shits ain't never gonna connect. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we're just trying to get that culture going to where it's like New York, to where we got different locations to where you can go hoop at, you know what I'm saying? And just bring that on that grit, that New York type grit, and just that grit to basketball out here, because man, you played in high school out here, so you know how watered down it could get at times.
Exactly.
So we're just trying to better that.
Definitely. That's dope, man. Y'all heard it. Y'all need training. You need an AAU team. T2 is the way to go. All right, Dom. I got a couple more questions before I let you get out of here. One question is, who is your top 5 all-time CU players?
Top 5 all-time CU. Chauncey for sure.
Chance, okay. Gotta write these down.
And then I gotta go with my guy McKinley. Like,
yeah.
he's for sure a second.
Okay,
He's for sure. And I mean, if Chauncey wasn't a Hall of Famer, and I mean, we don't know what Ken's future holds yet, but if he wasn't a Hall of Famer and all that stuff, he might be. But it's for sure 1A and 1B with him and Chauncey and Ken for sure. But one Chauncey, 2 Ken, 3 I gotta give it to. Dang, we got It my team's gonna be strictly guards or mainly guards. So I got Spencer in there.
Spence, I forgot he went there.
Yeah. And then T Bay for sure is in there.
Tyler,
I
yeah.
got T Bay.
One more.
And then gonna have to round it off with the big 40, Josh Scott.
Hell yeah. Yes, sir. Who did you play? Who was on your team that's in the league now? Or who did you play with that's in the league now?
So T Bay,
Yeah.
he's now he just got caught up with Dallas, so congrats on that. And George, he had got drafted to the Suns, but he's now overseas.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, obviously Derek White.
Yep. That's dope, man. All right. Another question is
oh, and Derek. I don't know. Derek's in there somewhere, but he's in that top five. Like,
okay, we'll add Derek.
Or 6. Just put 6.
Derek is 6, yeah. All right. What's your top 5 NBA players like currently right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
I gotta go number 1, I gotta go James Harden.
Yes, sir.
That boy is on a mission.
Yes. James.
But Harden. I got KD.
KD. Bronzo.
So who's that? 3?
Yeah,
3.
James, KD, and Bron. 2 more.
I got Embiid, bro. I really like Embiid.
Yeah,
he's really tough to me. And probably Brad Bill.
Yes, sir.
I like how he's been getting buckets this year. But my guy, my guy is Lou Will though. That's my guy though. You're really tough.
So second to last one. Who is your top 5 artists right now? Who you bumping?
Oh, my artist. Who? I'm liking Lil Durk right now. He's on a roll right now.
Durk, okay. I fuck
Lil Durk, Lil Baby. You know, he can't miss every time. Lil Baby.
Yes, sir.
But he got to stick to rapping though. I like Larry June.
Yes, sir.
Some chill stuff.
Yeah. June is tough.
Larry June. Facts. I mess with June a lot.
Yes, sir. 2 more.
2 more. I gotta give it to Moneybag.
Moneybag.
I like Moneybag. You know? And then the last one, bro, I be getting back Jay-Z, bro. He always. Yeah. But my favorite ever, bro, is Fab.
Oh, for real? I love Fab. Fab needs to drop
bro.
some summertime shit.
Some summer exact, you know. So yeah, facts. Back on his soul tape stuff. That was the shit, bro.
We need that, Fab. All right, man. Last question is, who would you want to see on the podcast? Whoever you want to see, you gotta loop us together so we can make that shit happen.
For sure, T2 or Quentin Mosley, so he could for sure talk about just New York basketball and then how like we could elevate our stuff, because he's coming from he's a legend over there in like Rucker Park and all that stuff. So like that's the most elite, or one of the most elite places you could go and just go out there and hoop, you know. So bringing his ideas and what he thinks we should do in that aspect. And if you can, Ken.
Yep. we'll get Ken on here. I'll shoot him a DM or something, or shoot him a text, let him know. But Ken, definitely Q is next. We gotta get Q on here to spread his
sure.
knowledge of what he's doing right now for the city. So definitely, Dom, thank you again, man, coming on here. It means the world for me. I know you're busy, so just thank you for taking the time out of your day. Come on
For
here,
sure, Jay.
spread your knowledge and just a little bit about yourself. So everyone, thank you for watching. Dom, thank you. And remember to stay woke.
Yep.